Hello, the purpose of this video is to discuss why use line weights. Are there any line weight standards? So I was recently asked by a student, how would we know which line weight should we use for layers in AutoCAD? And the answer is, it's all about presentation. So you can create layers in AutoCAD and you can assign them colors, and colors would mean different line weights. It all depends on how do you want to present your drawing. So here are two floor plans. One is using a single line weight and the other one are using multiple line weights. And the information that's presented is not different. They're exactly the same. And basically the one on the right, which uses correct line weights, has more meaning and has more depth in introducing what the information is. So clearly, the thicker line weights denotes that those are walls cut, whereas the one in the left denotes just a drawing of floor plan and walls. Okay, so just like what I said, it's all about presentation. By using the correct line weights, not too thick, not too thin, you can distinguish the important parts of your floor plan, which parts were cut, which ones are on the floor, which ones are on the ceiling or projections, and which one are unimportant. When you're drawing in AutoCAD, you wanted to mark your floor plans using different line weights, and the thicker line weight should be used when you're cutting a wall. So the heavy lines presents a profile of the wall that you're cutting, and thin lines would be used for background lines in terms of wall patterns, tiles, stairs, furniture, and all the other stuff. Now, a line weight can also affect the perception of depth. So if you wanted to present a drawing and you wanted to delineate which one are farthest away from you, you might use a thin line weight, and using thicker line weights, not too thick though, would present objects that are closer to you. So like I said, it's all about presentation. And if you look at these two drawings over here, um, not only are you supposed to be using different line weights, that you're supposed to be also be considering which line weights are you supposed to use for elements in your drawing. So it mainly started from hand drawing, and architects would be using different thickness of pens to denote which are background patterns which are important. And as you can see, the top one is relatively very hard to understand. That it looks like the tree is under a mesh, and then there is a furniture on top of the mesh. So it looks like several stories is happening here. Like there's a roof and there's a furniture on the roof and the trees below the roof. But if you do or use correct line weights, you can see that the tree is actually on top of these cross patterns, which might indicate a pattern of concrete or pavers on the ground. Okay, and then the furniture is basically above it. Using line weights and shadows is even better. Okay, the non-architects that you're presenting this to can really see the difference in height, or if there's a three-dimensional structure on your drawing. I did find a website that gives 6 examples of why line weights matter, and one of them is if you look at all these drawing. This one that uses line weight looks like it's a cube, but if you did put in a strong line weight on one of the edges, it um, denotes that this edge is closest to you. While if you just put a thicker line with all around it, it just makes it a 3D object. Okay. If you reverse that, if you put in the line weight, thicker line weight on the edges, it denotes an inner edge or an inner cut of a cube. Okay. Especially also if you put it out on the top edges. So this would be a 3D of this would be the floor and this would be the sides, whereas this would be the top and this would be the sides. So again, there are important uses of these line weights. Here's another floor plan where if you did not use the correct line weights, it's all messy to look at. But if you did use the correct line weights, those thin line weights sort of just disappear below, and you can see the cut line of the wall, and there are fixtures and furnitures here, and then there's just a hatch pattern below it. Okay, so it's all about presentation. Here's another one, you know, line weight, same information, but because you use thin line weights, then you're saying that this cabinetry is closer to you than this furniture, and that fixture is well beyond this cabinet fixture. Okay, this one here also, if I do something like this, it looks like an elevation of a church, but if I use the correct line weights, it's really a section of a church or a cathedral or something like that. Okay. And the last drawing here is you can see if you only use one line weight, it's really hard to see the detail. Whereas if you use thicker line weights on each of the elements, then you can see that there's a countertop, there's a stud or a wood bracing there, and it looks like this is plywood, and this is the profile of the plywood. So it really creates this a distinguishing feature of which part is which. Okay, so you can visit this website. You click that and click 6 examples of line weights. It'll show you the same things that I'm showing you uh, and other stuff with a little more explanation on it. Okay, so I guess is there really a standard for line weight? The answer is really no, because it's all about presentation. So when you preview your AutoCAD drawings and you like what it looks like, I guess you did it you did it correct. But if your AutoCAD drawing, when you preview it, the lines are too thick, then simply go back to the layer and change the layer's color, which is associated with the thickness, until you get the right mix of which one is important, which one is a cut, which one should blend in the background. Yeah, so it's all about presentation.